All right, it's time to take a look at the papers now across Nigeria. And to make sense of all of these headlines, I have with me in the studio political technocrat, Dr. Dayo Kayode. It's nice to have you join me this morning.
My pleasure.
Good to see you.
Mike,
great.
The weekend.
Very fine.
It was congratulations to me on UCL won by Chelsea. You know I'm a Chelsea fan now.
The point there is, anytime Chelsea wins, like they say, no one will have ears to hear again.
Are you not having ears to hear now?
It's okay. No problem. Congratulations. You're happy now.
Thank you very much.
It's okay. Now let's get into the issues now. National economy is where we start from. National economy says shortage of air traffic controllers threaten safety of Nigeria's airspace. And experts canvass collaboration between civil military aviation. That's on the national economy. From there, let's go to Business AM. It's focusing on Nigeria's oil. Countdown as NNPC sees $10 billion fresh investment, $780 million revenue. Okay, these are areas that NNPC is foreseeing going forward. That's on the Business AM. Business Day is next, and it says low-wage manufacturing jobs can dent Nigeria's unemployment. Business Day says low-wage manufacturing jobs can dent Nigeria's unemployment. Let's go to Blueprint. Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says Gulag's murder repulsive, gruesome. As President Buhari is saying this, it vows to deploy resources against criminal elements. Imo government must give account. Northern youth threatened. And he was killed by professionals. Fani Kayode has said that, and I'm shocked and in pains. Jonathan is saying this. Late politician moved out of hotel unprotected. Police is saying this as well. All right, that's Blueprint newspaper. So we'll certainly be talking about this. The Daily Times is next. And it says, outrage over murder of Jonathan's ex-aide, Gulag. Outrage over murder of Jonathan's ex-aide, Gulag. Okay, from there, let's go to the Leadership newspaper. Leadership says insecurity escalates in Southeast. Leadership newspaper says insecurity escalates in Southeast. And the gunmen killed 30 villagers in Ebonyi, Gulag in Imo. Family, kinsmen recount last moments. His killers will be brought to justice. PMB, that's the President Muhammadu Buhari saying this. And IPOB denies involvement in killing. Reps suspend zonal constitutional review hearing. And INEC office raised in Imo as IPOB sit-at-home order begins. Okay, that's the Leadership newspaper. What the news reaching us has said that the people who perpetrated or are alleged to have perpetrated or who are involved in the killing of Gulag have also been killed, about 10 of them. Okay, we'll talk about this at Leadership newspaper. News Direct is next, and it says Southeast boils, gunmen murder Gulag, Jonathan's ex-advisor. Destroy INEC, bomb the immigration office. Gulag's killers will not escape justice. President Buhari said that. Okay, from there let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust says Gulag's assassination sparks outrage. Police kill 6 IPOB members over attack, and Southeast governors demand probe. An ex-presidential aide buried in Abuja. Buhari, Jonathan, ACF mourn. It's really a sad development there. But it is those who, the police has said those who were involved in the killing have been neutralized. The Nation newspaper is next. The Nation says uproar over more killings, abductions in Oyo, Imo. Jonathan's ex-aide, Gulag shot dead, 30 killed in Ebonyi, Benue boundary, scores of pupils kidnapped in Niger. Buhari, perpetrators won't go unpunished. All right, that's the Nation newspaper. The Nigerian Tribune is next. Nigerian Tribune says about 200 students kidnapped in Niger. The Nigerian Tribune says about 200 students kidnapped in Niger. Number of abducted students yet to be ascertained. Government is saying this. 1 killed, 11 minors released. That's the Nigerian Tribune. Then we also have the Vanguard newspaper. That's where we're going next. Vanguard is focusing on 2023, and it says, drop amendments, give Nigerians new constitution. Southern Middle Belt leaders are saying this, demand new constitution based on 1963 constitution, say nothing came out of previous amendment bids. Warn Nigeria will die if not restructured. Insists presidency should go to South in 2023. It adds that federal government's attitude to Southern governors as about resolutions cavalier, and condoles with families of Atahiru, 10 others. All right, these are other issues we might be looking at if we have the time. This day is next. This day says tension in Southeast as separatist agitators follow Boko Haram's tactics. Tensions in Southeast as separatist agitators follow Boko Haram tactics. Police allay fears as residents stockpile food items, others over sit-at-home order. That's this day. The Punch newspaper is the last one we're looking at now. The Punch says states bank on PPP or PPP projects as cash crunch bites harder. States afraid of negative effect of mass retrenchment in 2023 political agenda. We're doing PPP already. Some projects are financed by World Bank, says Ekiti. We'll fish out ghost workers. Bauchi is saying this. We're cutting down overheads. Enugu state government is saying this. So different states are looking at it from different angles. Okay, gentlemen, let's all right, I have joining me also to discuss this now is Shijibumi Adebi Bennett. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Great. Now, the weekend, the last weekend, or the weekend we just finished now, was a very hot weekend, from the north to the north central to the east and to the southwest. There were stories of so many different things that happened. Killings, and abductions, especially in Niger State, where we hear so many students were abducted from an Islamic school. The numbers that were abducted were said to be 200, although government is saying we cannot ascertain the total number of persons who were abducted yet. But Dr. Kaide, let me start with you on this. This last weekend, when you sat down to, news reaching you from everywhere, you're reading them and so on, I wonder what crossed your mind on this.
It was really a very black weekend for me. Despite the euphoria that I had on Saturday night, and then hoping that by Sunday I would join some of my friends and all that. But honestly speaking, when the news of Gulag first of all got to me, I felt so bad, and that spoiled the whole show for me. I was industrial. Because if somebody like Gulag could be invited for a function at that place, and on his way to the airport, going back to Abuja, now hacked down, for goodness sake, where do you and I stand? That we always like to let people know the truth of issues going around within our nation. I started thinking, where are we? What is wrong with us as a people? And I started looking at some other things. Why are we even having these incessant security breaches in our country? Why? Despite all the security apparatus that we have on ground, I came to a conclusion. We Nigerians should be mindful of what is happening in our country. Two areas. It is when you have insecurity, when brothers are killing sisters, when parents are killing children, that people will be able to steal our resources. So we have to look at it. Who are the people fanning the ember of, one, insecurity, and beating the drums of war? Why? Who are sponsoring them? Look at what is happening in Elisha. Our foreigners are stealing our gold, but we cannot attack them. We cannot send them out because there is no unity. Look at Enugu, our coal in Enugu. Look at what is happening in Samfara and all other areas. So why can't we, for goodness sake, we Nigerians, think deep among ourselves and say, no. Look at now, states. They are talking of how to maybe loan out even a whole state on PPP. I mean, it is about loaning the whole state. You understand? So why can't we people? Then secondly, why can't we also look at the areas of these politicians? Because there are some of them that they are looking for, okay, how do I get this power by all means? They will only get it when there is unity among you people. Because at the end of the day, it is on that crest that they will use to enter. Let us stop there. Let us stop them in tuning our brain unnecessarily.
All right.
Why are brothers killing brothers? It's not fair.
Okay. That's an advice to all Nigerians looking at it from that perspective. Now, Ishidibumi, I was asking a question to one of my guests earlier on. You have often heard that when the police wants to work, that you will see results. We're narrowing it down to the killing of Gulag. Just less than 24 hours of that happening, we got reports that the police had, apprehended those who were involved, and they were neutralized in less than 24 hours. That's the kind of proactivity Nigerians would like to see generally, not just because a politician or someone who is an elite is involved. What do you make of that?
I don't like to dwell on conspiracy theories, but I like to just look at issues objectively and deduce my own conclusions from issues. For me, that statement was empty, fatuous, and unnecessary. Someone was killed, and we could have a situation whereby it could degenerate to a tribal conflict. So the police had to, for me, I'm not saying that's my own opinion, had to come up with something to assuage the feelings of the people, especially our brothers from the upper part. Because as of yesterday, it was already, a governor was already addressed as persona non grata in that area. So when something like that happens, and we hear that they were neutralized, what are we going to get from investigations? The people that did it, if they were neutralized and not one of them was arrested, how do we know the motive or the people behind, the people that sent them, so that you can curb and curtail
the future occurrence?
So it's good to say they were neutralized, so everybody forgets about it. Who were they? Where were they from?
And why did they carry out that?
Kill? See, there is an agenda in this country. Gulag is instrumental to the emergence of that governor there. Because there were two primaries at that time. He was said to have been abducted and wanted to be coerced and forced by his Nsodiman's predecessor, Okorocha. And he escaped. And at the end of the day, we first got an announcement of Uche Nwosu as the flag bearer. Then there was another announcement of Nsodima before the court now gave it to Nsodima. And at the end of the day, before the same court now gave it to number 4 the person that became number 4 in the general elections. So there's so many things attached to Uzodiman's emergence and the person of Gulag. Now, he came, I don't know the function he came for, but he is going to be welcome in that state because Uzodiman owes his emergence to Gulag and the former chairman, Oshomole. Having said that, what is the message that the killers are trying to pass? But all of these things is not just about one man or just one mother, Gulag. We're saying it because it's an elite. You reeled out so many deaths in the country over the weekend. Ebonyi Benue border, 30, 200 kidnapped. Those people are Gulag to some people. So it's only when it's one of them that there is an uproar, and there is, I think now we have so many already scripted statements. So the only thing the presidency needs to do is just to sign.
And then it is released.
And it is released. So when there is a breakdown of law and order. That's just the conclusion. There is a breakdown. So I'm not a prophet of doom, but the only thing I tell my people close to me, just be careful, don't be a victim in Nigeria. Anything can happen to an average Nigerian. We always say, God forbid.
But they still happen when they have to happen.
But the only thing we have to do is to run to the only refuge we have for some of us, which is God. So, because there is no police, there is breakdown of law and order, there is anything happens anytime, you can't say, and by the time you start ruling it out, we're used to it. See, somebody died and it was like a statistic. And it started not just today. In a country where a former Attorney General, serving Attorney General, was killed until today. We were told these people were neutralized. Nobody was neutralized. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was seen to be the culprit.
Fayo was arrested. Where is he now? What has happened?
All right. Let's talk about in the east. The proscribed IPOB had given a sit-at-home order to residents to stay home for about 3 days to mark, to commemorate Biafra Day from in their perspective, and a lot of people decided to stay home. But the governments of, especially like for instance, like Ebonyi State Governor had sent a message to people saying, well, if you don't come to your shop or you don't come to work, you're going to forfeit your shops, you're going to forfeit your job and things like that. But we saw how effective, people became skeptical here and there. We saw how effective the sit-at-home order was in some of the enclaves within the southeast. What do you make of this?
Well, I want to say the governor has not approached it the way he should. Because these are people that are having requests, demands, aspirations from the government. And government is not giving it to them. And even in our constitution, there's what we call freedom of association. Even though it shouldn't be violent, you should eschew violence, okay? But they can really tell the people, sit at home, because there is a belief that what they are demanding are in the interest of the people. So there is tendency that people will want to follow them, okay? Now, for you now coming out to say, you will forfeit this, you will forfeit that, it's not the best. All you need to do is to assuade those agitators, because the people agitating for Biafra is not today they have been agitating for it. Now, all you need to do is, okay, why are you agitating for Biafra? There must be a reason. Why don't you call them to a round table and then discuss with them? If they are now saying, okay, they don't believe in you, that means there is trust gap. Why don't you build that trust gap? Why don't you build a bridge on that trust gap so that people can trust you. Because as it is now, it seems as if IPOD is in control of that area, which to me is risky. It's risky because when you have a group of people controlling that area and they are not the constituted authority, on what basis will they be controlling the affairs of that place? You don't understand? So what I expect that governor to do is to call them and mingle with them. And mingle with them. Because the way things are going, before you know it, it will escalate. Look at the burnings that are happening around there. Burnings of government properties. Burning of nice edifices.
INEC office.
Do you understand? So where do we go from here? The governor himself, I mean, even the governors within that particular enclave, they should come together and then embrace these people, discuss with them what are your aspirations, then take it to the federal government and let us solve this problem once. Look at what happened. At Nigerian border.
I wonder if the aspirations are not clear already. Because if you're saying you should ask them what their aspirations are, I wonder if those things are not clear already to everyone.
Whatever it is, Mike, when you even call somebody, okay, come, let us discuss, that person will feel respected. And every ego, I mean everybody has an ego to feed. Okay? The moment you are now deciding to say, I want to submerge your ego, it leads to conflict. And when there is conflict, you don't know where that conflict will lead to. Look at what happened at our border over the weekend. Do you understand? Worst things can happen in Imo.
Yeah.
So I will want the governors there, the governor within the southeastern region, to come together, call these people, persuade them, and then come look for a way to solve these problems once and for all.
Okay, let's talk briefly about students that were alleged to have been kidnapped in Niger State. About 200 of them. We hear more than 70 motorcycles, invaded the area, and it is still not clear the circumstances around there. But we hear close to 200, or about 200 students were kidnapped in an Islamic school in Niger State. I wonder what you make of this. This is not the first time. This is not the second time. This is not the third time that the students are being kidnapped in this way, especially even in Niger State as it is. Government had come out to say this will not happen again. Recall that the federal government, even the state government, came together and said this will not happen again, especially not in Niger State, but this is happening.
Same empty statements those times. There is breakdown of law and order. And the criminals are ahead of our security agencies. The people that said it wouldn't happen as at that time, what strategy or structure did they put in place for it not to happen again? These people know the environment like the back of their hands. They know that you guys are now focusing on the universities, on the secondary schools, and there is a bit of, I think last week they wanted to get into a school and they were repelled. In the north, I can't remember, I read it, I can't remember the state now. So the attention has shifted to another porous and very vulnerable institution, the Islamic school. And in that kind of school, they allow people to come in and to leave, irrespective of in as much as you are a Muslim. So this is what we're saying. And like Dr. Daokade was saying the other time about the borders and IPOP. If our citizen and they tell us in this ecosystem that we shouldn't come, we'll get a letter. It's been happening. We write a letter or somebody, even when 1 million guys were coming.
Exactly.
Did you not stay in your house? But if the police says don't come out, the average citizen will believe that now police, we go tip them. So we don't have security in Nigeria. So it's not something you do SWOT today, do SAS tomorrow. It's something you have to start from scratch again. A new modus operandi of the operations of our security agencies, a new way of training, a new way of even recruitment. So, because, like I said, next week, Monday, I think we'll have a day again, and we'll read the dailies, and we'll talk about all these things.
It's an issue.
It's really sad how these things have not abated, despite how much we've been talking about this every day of the week, and every weekend we talk about these things, yet stories coming from parts of the country are still the same, sometimes even worse than they used to be. But we look forward.
What I'm saying is to get the sponsors. Where are they?
Yeah,
are they within the system?
Government said
they are within the system.
Government said they had arrested about 400 sponsors of Boko Haram or terrorism in Nigeria. What are they going to do waiting for them to be prosecuted. So we assume that one way or the other government knows what to do. All right, let's leave it here now. Shijibumi Adebiyi Bennett, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Dayo Kayode, thank you for coming as well.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate you. Right. You're watching